Hi, guys. I wanted to give you some feedback after grading your memos on that Westlaw research, both on your Westlaw searching and on your memo writing. I was pretty strict about my grading because I want you to look at my comments and learn. So, a couple of things I want to talk about. One thing that's important for you to look at on any assignment is the rubric. So, if you see, what I have, make sure you're putting everything in there and paying special attention to here. Okay. So, if I'm asking for the search queries, put the search queries in there. Um, I'm asking for both rules and analysis. Look at this rules of law properly stated and cited, and when social host liability is required. Then there's a second section where the rule of law is applied to the facts of hand. Every rules cited in this part should be used in the second part and vice versa. You don't put them here and then don't put them there, and you don't put them there and not put them there. Okay, so a couple of things. Let me go to, no, I'm on Lexis. Let's go to Westlaw. When I'm on Westlaw, really important that you're choosing the right source. Okay, so if you're choosing all of Illinois, you're going to get garbage. You're going to get stuff that is out of contract. You're going to get stuff that's not helpful to you. Um, and when I'm asking you to do legal research, I'm asking you for primary law, for real law. I don't want law review articles. I don't want ALRs. I don't want anything but cases or statutes or real laws. So, when I'm on Westlaw, and this will go when we're doing Lexis as well, I'm going to go to Illinois. And for the case law, I don't want all Illinois state and federal because I don't want federal law. I want Illinois state cases for cases. So just choose that. Don't choose all Illinois materials. So, do that one first. Okay, so I posted for you a memo that I wrote. Okay, so here's my search query that I have, and I'll explain it to you in a second. Now, remember, when you're doing these using quotes, if you put this all in quotes, it's going to look for that. Okay, that's not really something that would appear in a sentence, right? You have to, whenever you're doing in a quote, you have to make sure it's a real thing. Like social host in quotes, that's a real thing. But social host alcohol, that's not a real thing. Okay, so if it's not a phrase, don't use the quotes, use the connectors. So this is host in the same sentence, and I use this exclamation point. Remember, that's the root truncator. So I get liable or liability here. Okay, host in the same sentence of liability or liable. Okay, then and the word alcohol, I put the exclamation point because if it's alcohol or alcoholic beverages, I'm going to get that. Okay, so I want all of that. And then I don't know how the court is going to use the term, underage, teen, whatever. So, and either underage or minor or teen, because that could be teenage or something like that. Okay, so then that's my search. When I get my results, I'm only getting primary law. I'm getting case law. And it's giving me what it thinks are my best cases. And really, these two are my best cases, which, you should have used those in your memo. Okay, so that's the research part. Let's go to the statute section. Okay, so I asked in my thing cases and statutes, right? Cases, statutes, right? So then I would, if I were you, I would then look at statutes. So let me go to State Materials, Illinois, and I'm just going to go to statutes and court rules here. Okay, and then I'm going to use one of those, remember those field searches? I'm going to use text, so I'm not searching the annotations here. Just show you how to get them. I go here. What are my fields? Well, yes, statutory text. There it is. So it's TE. I have, oops. last one was pretty simple. I just used, liability in the same sentence as alcohol. LIAB / sentence alcohol. I think I got like 14 of these. Yeah, so there's 14. One of the ways I like to look at statutes, it is sorted by the table of contents. So that way, this is kind of the way it appears in the book. So you kind of have to look through these. This is a big one, the dram shop. Okay, so I'm going to pull that up. I'm going to read through it, figure out what the elements are. Okay. I don't think that's the specific one I'm looking for. But there are two that pulled up in the search. Okay, so here then I'm like, okay, I have my research. I'm going to go read through my cases. I'm going to figure out what's important. I'm going to get my citation right. Then I'm going to write my memo. Okay, my facts are a paragraph or 2 paragraphs if I gave you more facts. It's not a bullet point. We're not doing, an outline. We're not doing our own case brief. This is for the partner at your firm. So it should look nice. It should look written like a memo. It shouldn't be like vomiting up, cutting and pasting, plagiarizing from Westlaw. It should be well, professionally written. Okay, so we have our facts. Our issue that I have here, you want to put in all of the important facts and the legal issue here. So, are the hosts of a party where alcohol was consumed by minors liable for injuries resulting from an automobile accident where the driver had been an attendee if the host did not provide the alcohol consumed by the minor? Okay, so that's all of my facts that are relevant that I end up talking about in my analysis. Okay, so remember my rules, are going to appear under the rules section, and then my analysis is also going to contain those rules. So my rules is just a brief sentence talking about that. Here's my search queries. You could have put them somewhere, in a separate place. I just put them right under my rules because this is where I searched in cases and this is where I searched in statutes. So what Charles Siegfried held, and then so that was 1995. This was followed in Walkelich, which I could have just gotten rid of Walkelich too. Then Bell versus Hutzel, which is the voluntary undertaking theory. So I have those two just blurbs on what those cases hold that it's relevant. Okay, and here's my statutes. The two that I thought were important is the dram shop statute and then this underage drinking statute. Okay, so then I just have one sentence. I didn't vomit up the whole statute telling you what my elements are, right? So this, you're liable if they're licensed, selling, and you caused the intoxication. Okay, this one, if you're 18 and you willfully supply booze or drugs to a person under 18 that causes injury, you're liable. Okay, so here's my analysis. First, I'm talking about my case law. This is what happened in Charles versus Siegfried, right? And what the court held. This is how it was advanced in Bell versus Hutzel and kind of the facts and what the court held. And then here's our facts. In our case, we didn't give them alcohol. There was no voluntary undertaking. So based on, on our facts applied to this law, we don't have a liability under common law. Same thing for the statutes. Statutes are easy. Okay, dram shop. We're not licensed to sell alcohol. We didn't sell, or we didn't give. So it doesn't apply there. Same thing for this. Here it is, the Drug or Alcohol Impaired Minor Responsibility Act. Okay, there's no willful supplying of alcohol. Okay, and then our conclusion based on a review of the case and statutory law, they're not liable for injuries since there's no social host liability and they did not give the alcohol and there was no voluntary undertaking for them to not have it. So make sure you're choosing the right source, make sure it's primary law. your analysis is really lacking. So, work on that. And then just another aside that's really not related to this memo, but when you're doing your work, classwork, is only worth 6 points. That is like if I were teaching you in class, we went over something and I'm like, okay, practice it. That's what the classwork is. It's practice. Okay. You should be spending, you should work on these things. It's a way of reinforcing what we learn. But the more important thing is the homework if you want time management on that. All right, reach out to me, send me an email. You guys, I know I see the discussion board. If you really want to talk to me, drop me an email, mhickey@harper.college.edu. That is what I will check every day. Discussion boards, maybe twice a week. So I know it moves quick. I also see that some of you are falling behind. Get back on the horse or drop the course. Oh, it rhymes. But like if you can't do the work, it's quick. You got to get it done. Or it's going to be July and you're not going to have anything. So if you cannot keep up the work, you might have to drop the class. So that's it. Reach out if you have any questions.